What's cracking, guys? Omar Esoff here, back with another video. Just kidding. It's your boy, Jimbo Non-Trombles, the one and only, the Hordiari Gains. Fun fact, Hordiari is what they used to call gladiators, and it translated to barley eater. And this barley eater eats barley like it's groceries. And by groceries, I mean ass. I'm going to talk about 4 questions today that I received on my Instagram direct messages. I have 131 followers, so you can say I'm kind of famous. My words carry a lot of weight and volume in the fitness and vegan community with those big triple-digit numbers. What is something you would tell creatives right now? So for my creatives out there, if you guys don't know, I have released music before under the alias Fiddly Digits. I have done, I do a bit of short video films. I edit. I do fun stuff every once in a while. I would consider myself a creative. And during this time, I haven't done jack shit. This whole year. I've written a few lyrics, I've done a few piano melodies, I've done some MIDI on Ableton, I've made some choruses and hooks. I haven't really done that much else though, and it's not something that I push myself towards right now because I just don't feel like it. And it's okay. Especially during this time of quarantine, us creatives need to take a break sometimes if we're not feeling it mentally. I'm an introvert, I'm an extroverted introvert, so I need some recharge time. And I just don't feel like it. I really just don't feel like creating right now, and that's totally fine. You don't have to either. This is a time to step back from your work on yourself, feel better. If you don't have to work on yourself, step back, take a break. It's okay to relax and not always have to be creating, and pumping out a bunch of shit. So next, how do I deal with my mental health? A little bit of backstory. From the ages of 11 to 19, I was incredibly depressed, went in and out of therapy, was suicidal at times, used to cut myself, I'd slit my wrist like a little emo kid. I was super depressed. I was awful. My mental state was awful. It's very likely that I do have bipolar 2 disorder. I cannot get adequate help and treatment for it right now because your boy's poor as hell. But that's just a little bit of background info going into this. So before I started working out, we'll say, 2016, 17, and 18, when I was an angsty teenager at my worst point probably, I used to deal with mental health in awful ways. I would take a bunch of Xanax, I would snort it sometimes, I would take oxys, I would drink my problems away, I'd smoke them away, I'd smoke cigarettes, I'd vape nicotine. I would just do all these unhealthy, shitty habits to suppress how I was feeling. But I had no good outlet. So now how I deal with my mental health is, last year I actually studied Buddhism for quite some time during the spring and summer. It really opened my eyes up. The big 10 that I took away from it is that you're mostly in control of your emotions. So I realized that I used to let everybody basically control my emotions. Nothing was my fault. It couldn't be my fault. I'm depressed. Nothing can be my fault. It has to be everyone else's fault. External factors influencing me. But in reality, the only thing that influences you is your internal factors. No one can tell you, be sad, be happy. They can do things and you can choose how you react to them. So for example, we're going to say anger. I used to be a very angry person. I had anger issues all throughout elementary school, middle school, high school. I was so pissed off. I'd be the road rager, who would flip you off and shit, all that. I stopped because I realized what's the point of being angry? It's an emotion like happiness and sadness. The only reason we feel anger is to feel justified. So for example, a really good one is if some idiot cuts you off, they just yeet their Prius right in front of you, almost T-bone you or some shit like that on the highway. So someone cuts you off on the highway and they almost hit you. You shouldn't get mad. And you're probably thinking, Hordiari Gains, why shouldn't I get mad? They almost hurt me. They almost totaled my car. What is getting angry going to do about that situation? It's not going to magically make them be smart. It's not magically going to make their 25 IQ mongoloid brain grow 20 times. It's not going to do anything. You getting angry only serves them. What I mean by that is when you're angry, who's it benefiting? When you're angry, it clouds your vision, it fogs up your mind, you get in that tunnel vision, one-track mind, I'm pissed off, I want to do some shit about it. You're not thinking clearly, you're not assessing the situation, and you're letting some random stranger with 24 brain cells tell you how to feel. They just influenced your whole day. This random stranger influenced how you feel about your entire day, your entire mood, your entire psyche. Everything that you're feeling right now, they just controlled your entire emotions like that. Are you really gonna let some idiot tell you how to feel, tell you to be sad, tell you to be happy? And you're thinking, yeah, well, you know, this was unexpected. That's why I'm pissed off. And yeah, you're right, because your expectations haven't been met. With failed expectations leads anger and frustration. What I do is every time I get in my car, I expect there to be some mongoloid idiot, you know, some heifer, who just plows into me and T-bones me and totals my car. My parents used to always tell me, you're the safe driver out there. You have to be worried about everyone, not yourself. I'm expecting people to basically hit me when I go out driving because I know everyone is kind of stupid. So that way if it happens, yeah, I'll be annoyed. I'm going to lose a few $1,000s on my car. But I'll expect it. It's not going to ruin my mood. It's not going to destroy my day. Why should it? Why should I let it destroy my entire mood? That's one thing I have control over, and that gives me confidence. If I know I can control how I feel for the most part, with many of these situations and scenarios, I can better work on my mental health because it helps me recognize triggers where I don't have control and work on those. So that's a big part of mental health. But another one is I use the gym. I use fitness to help me. I give myself a goal. So when I do Olympic lifting, I do Olympic weightlifting. Well, can I really call myself an Olympic weightlifter if I haven't competed? I was going to compete in April, but you know, for my first competition, but Corona-chan, Corona has entered the chat. I was maxing at 165 for my power snatch, because I had shit mobility and I couldn't full snatch that yet. And I was 225 on my clean and jerk. These are freedom units, not kilos, guys. I'm not that great. I was trying to work on my ankle mobility and my bottom position in the snatch. I really wanted to actually snatch 165, not just do a really sloppy power of it. I started working on bodybuilding stuff, and right now I'm main gaining and trying to. I'm at about 25 to 2,800 calories a day, putting on a tiny bit of muscle mass. I give myself goals now at home, so I realized I wasn't looking super great. I looked okay, but you know, I wanted to look great. So I started working on my weak points. I would work on my abs. I worked on trying to get my lateral heads on my triceps more defined. I wanted to see those little bad boys. So yeah, there were these small parts of myself. I wanted bigger traps. I wanted to be more lean. Things that I could work on during quarantine, and I gave myself these goals. I started doing bodybuilding routines, bodybuilding work, you know, feeder workouts like Rich Piana. I started doing a bunch of stuff to get to that goal, and it kept me driven and busy, and it helped my mental by giving me something consistent in life. If you have these consistencies, like a workout routine, things you like to eat, so many of these, you know, routines and consistencies in your life, it gives you less uncertainty and less radicals and random variables to control your life and affect how you feel, because you have all these things that are basically planned out already. So it seems like it's restraining when you have these routines and plans, but it's really freeing because I don't have to worry about this jack shit anymore. I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat or cook because I made a whole fucking plate of rice and I got beans in the fridge. I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna do to work out because I wrote it all out in advance. I programmed it for myself. I know what I have to work on and I do it. I give myself goals and I do it. Why? Because I enjoy it. The same reason that you strive to be a higher level in video games. When I played PUBG Mobile, I got up to the top 11% of players in the United States. I was really good. And I would give myself these goals, you know, I want to hit platinum, I want to hit diamond. I hit platinum one season, diamond the next season, the one above that the next season. I don't even remember, it's been a few years. But yeah, give yourself goals and it pays off. Now we're going to talk about Tren. Well, we're going to be talking about doping and the state of the IWF because Olympic weightlifting. Long story short, I'm going to sum this one up quick. The IWF and testing for performance-enhancing drugs is a fucking joke. It's a shit show right now. That's why a lot of people are pissed off, because there have been documented cases of teams sending representatives from their district to be tested, having doctors administer tests, and it's not the athlete at all getting tested, it's their doppelganger, their stunt double for tests. So all these juiced up lifters who are clean because someone else took their test for them because the regulations aren't very stringent. There's also random testing. So if not 100% of the people are tested, randomized tests will get a few of them. So you can be cycling these performance enhancing drugs for years. You can be on it for 3 years, let's say. Oh, you have a test in a year. Well, If it leaves your system, whatever hormone you're taking, whatever enhancing drug you're taking, if it leaves your system in 6 months, you can take it for, you've been taking it 3 years, you can take it 6 more months, and then you cycle off of it for the next 6 months to show up clean on your test. So there's so many ways to get around it where it creates an unfair advantage for people who are juicing versus natural athletes. That's why the IWF has a lot of problems and scrutiny right now, because it's a shit show for testing. I don't have any problem if you roid, if you're part of the roider gang. I don't care, you do you. But I'm just giving my opinion on the state of the IWF right now and why these guidelines aren't very stringent and how it creates an unfair playing field and advantage to other lifters and weight classes. I think that was all. Another question, how I stay motivated, and what got me motivated to the gym. I started out in 2018, January 2018, right before I turned 19. I was taking a physical education class at Tarrant County College. Our professor would have us work out 3 times a week, just cardio for 30 minutes. And after the first 2 weeks, I felt great. I realized, why the fuck am I half-assing this? I should be full-assing this, because I'm double-cheeked up on a Monday afternoon talking to you guys now. I got a thick peach going on, so it was just a precursor to the events that were to come. I never half-ass anything, because what's the point when you double-cheeked up? You know what I'm saying? Thick boys. Anyways, I might as well get a workout if I have to, So I started lifting weights at the campus gym. I started out 143 pounds, soaking wet. I can throw some pictures up somewhere. I could bench press the bar, just the bar for a few reps, maybe 8 reps. I was very weak. And then I realized it started making me feel really good about myself because I had a terrible self-image, terrible self-esteem, horrible body dysmorphia. I just felt awful in my own skin. From the age of, probably 8-9 years old up until past high school. Until then, a long time. A bunch of years. I would be the kid who would, anytime I'd have to go outside for an activity requiring your shirt off, so going to the water park, the pool, anything, I would keep my shirt on. I was this tiny, scrawny kid, nothing. I had a little gut, and then nothing. So I hated my body, and I realized I felt so good about myself working out. Even if I didn't see the gains right away, I just felt better. I didn't have to look better, I felt better about myself. So it gave me something to look forward to and improve on myself, which is how I got into it. And I stay into it because it continues to do so. It gives me a constant, it gives me something to look forward to and drive me, and I enjoy it. I think it's fun. Yeah, there are days where I don't feel like getting out of bed and I don't feel like working out, but I do it because I know afterwards I'll feel better. It's like going to the doctor when you're sick and you really don't want to, but you'll feel better afterwards. So I do it. I get it over with, and I do feel better afterwards. I love it. So that's what keeps me going. It gives me a strong will. I want to keep doing it. I want to be the best I can be. I have these goals for when I get back to the gym or when I have a home gym of my own, that I can snatch that 165 full to depth, perfect. That I can clean and jerk 255 coming up. That I can snatch balance 200. That I can do all these things that I've been wanting to do and I haven't been able to do. I have goals. I have things that I'd like to do, not for anybody else but myself, just because I enjoy them. They keep me busy. So that's how I stay motivated. It's not too bad. So, this has been Hordiari Gains, your boy, the Barley Eater. Remember guys, eat ass, not animals. I'll catch you next time. Drop a like down below, I'd appreciate it. I have all of 0 subscribers at the time of uploading this. If you'd like me to talk about a subject or a topic in the future, leave a comment. There's a high chance that I'll probably address it, to be quite honest. Little thing. For most of this, what I was talking about in 2018, I was not vegan. I've been vegan almost a year. I've been vegan since July 1st of 2019. So this is mostly me talking about 2018 and how I got started. So just keep that in mind. I was a little meat eater. I was, a blood mouth, as they would say. But yeah, my vegan journey is a story for another time, my boys. Alright, I'm out. I'm rambling. I need to skedaddle. Brah!